everyone, hope you are all doing well and safe. Welcome to the practical course of Linear Control System. Here's your lab instructor Nashita Alwaz. Agenda of this experiment includes 7 different sections: lab objective, equipment needed, theoretical background of the experiment, software implementation, results and discussion part, conclusion, and the task assigned. The title of today's experiment is to implement body diagram for the remotely controlled vehicle in LabVIEW software. Equipment needed for the experimentation is LabVIEW software installed on the personal computer. Firstly, we have to look at the theoretical background of this experiment. Frequency response describes nature of a system in the way it handles signals that are fed into it. Frequency response is a representation of the system response to sinusoidal inputs at varying frequency. The output of a linear system to a sinusoidal input is a sinusoidal of the same frequency but with a different magnitude and phase. Frequency response can be defined as the magnitude and phase difference between the input and output sinusoids. This response basically can be used for the system identification and for the analysis of the stability of the system. System behavior determined from the steady state response to sinusoidal input in the form of R equals to A sin omega t. Sine wave will be used in the frequency response because it is easy to analyze, it is easy to generate, it is easy to measure experimentally. Sinusoidal input applied to a linear system, so output will be sinusoidal. Output amplitude is proportional to the input signal. Harmonic input produces harmonic output at same frequency variation, amplitude and phase, and output will be the function of frequency also. Moving towards Bode plot. In a linear system, any sinusoidal that inputs the system is only changed in magnitude when it is amplified or attenuated, and phase when delayed. Therefore, the system can be described for every frequency just by its gain and phase shift. The Bode plot simply traces the gain and phase shift. It is a graphical representation of a linear time invariant system transfer function. There are 2 Bode plots, one plotting the magnitude or gain versus frequency known as Bode magnitude plot, and other plotting the phase versus frequency known as Bode phase plot. They are represented with the frequency in a logarithm scale, the magnitude in decibel, and phase in a linear scale. Both plots consist of 2 subplots, magnitude plot and phase plot. Both magnitude and phase plots contains similar x-axis, means angular frequency. Angular frequency equals to W. These 2 plots are different in y-axis. For magnitude plot, y-axis is the open loop transfer function, basically magnitude of the open loop transfer function, and magnitude of open loop transfer function can be taken by taking modulus of transfer function and multiply with 20 log for unity feedback control system. For phase plot, y-axis is equivalent to the phase of open loop transfer function. So here we have the importance of Bode plot. If we don't know about the roots of the closed loop transfer function, then how we can check the stability of the system? Because the system roots are divided in factor form, it is in this condition that we must expect the denominator to observe whether the real parts are positive or negative. This, however, can only be done if we know the closed loop transfer function. Usually, though the closed loop transfer function is not known, we can determine the stability by assessing the open loop transfer function. Bode plot help us in this regard. It gives information about the stability of the closed loop transfer function by checking the system in open loop transfer function. Crossover frequency basically consists of phase crossover frequency and the gain crossover frequency. Phase crossover frequency is the frequency where phase shift equals to minus 180. Gain crossover frequency is the frequency where the amplitude ratio is 1 or when log modulus is equal to 0. Now I will look at the gain margin and phase margin. Gain margin refers to the amount of gain which can be increased or decreased without making the system unstable. We will calculate the gain margin by looking at the phase crossover frequency. We know that phase crossover frequency is the frequency where phase plot touches minus 180. So if we look at the picture in our slide, then the frequency where phase plot touches the 180 minus 180 degrees is the phase crossover frequency. And at this frequency we will move our cursor towards the magnitude plot. And in magnitude plot we will see how much the difference between the actual Bode gain plot and 0 dB. So in the present scenario, our magnitude Bode plot is basically 20 degrees or the 20 dB highest from the 0 dB. So at the phase crossover frequency we have 20 difference of gain margin. So our gain margin will be minus 20 dB. And if we look at the phase margin, then it will refers to the phase which can be increased or decreased without making the system unstable. It is usually expressed in phase. We will calculate phase margin by looking at the gain crossover frequency. Gain crossover frequency is the frequency where Bode magnitude plot touches 0 dB. So at that frequency we will move our cursor to the downside towards the phase plot and we will look at the difference of actual phase plot with the minus 180. So here I have the difference of minus 9 of the phase plot with the minus 180 degrees. So at gain crossover frequency I have the phase margin of minus 9. And when we have the negative gain margin and negative phase margin, then our system will be unstable. Here are stability conditions for Bode plot. System is the stable system if both the margins, phase margin and gain margin should be positive or phase margin should be greater than the gain margin. System is unstable if any of them, means any of the phase margin or the gain margin is negative or phase margin should be less than the gain margin. System can be marginally stable if both the margins should be 0 or phase margin should be equal to the gain margin. Here I have some examples of stable system and unstable system. We will check the stability of the system or the instability of the system by considering the phase crossover frequency and the gain crossover frequency and the gain margin of the system and the phase margin of the system. Firstly, I will look at the stable system example in which I will look at the phase crossover frequency. At this phase crossover frequency, I have the positive gain margin, means the difference of actual magnitude plot with 0 dB is positive value. So I have the positive gain margin. And if I will look at the gain crossover frequency, then at this frequency I have the positive phase margin. So when I have the positive gain margin and positive phase margin, then my system will be stable. And now if I will look at the second example, then at the phase crossover frequency I have negative gain margin, and at the gain crossover frequency I have negative phase margin. So when I have the negative gain margin and negative phase margin, then my system will be unstable. In this slide, I have the example of Bode plot. Construct the Bode plot for a unity feedback system whose open loop transfer function is given by. So we will check the stability of the system, and we will also comment about the gain margin, phase margin and the stability of this specific transfer function. First step for checking the stability of this network is we have to write the equation of transfer function in corner frequency form. मीन्स पहला स्टेप ये है कि जैसे मेरे पास यहाँ पर इक्वेशन है कि मैंने 50 और s+1 है एक डिनोमिनेटर में, ठीक है। s+1 पे अगर होता मेरे पास s+2 समथिंग, तो जो 2 फैक्टर है उसको मैंने बाहर लेके जाऊंगी, मैं कॉमन निकालूंगी क्योंकि मुझे s+1 ही चाहिए। तो अगर मेरे पास यहाँ पे 50 होगा, लेट्स सपोज 2 होगा, 3 होगा, जो भी डिजिट होगा उसको मैं कॉमन लेके बाहर निकालूंगी। पहला स्टेप मैं ये करूंगी। उसके बाद मैं जो हूँ जितने भी s मेरी जितने भी इक्वेशन में हैं उनको मैं पुट कर दूंगी उनकी जगह पर j ओमेगा, ठीक है, इन कॉर्नर फ्रीक्वेंसी। जैसे हमें एक जनरल फॉर्म में नजर आ रहा है 1 + j ओमेगा डिवाइडेड बाय ओमेगा c, सही है। तो j ओमेगा की फॉर्म में मैंने अपने पूरे ट्रांसफर फंक्शन के अंदर जितने भी s है उनको मैंने पुट कर देना है s = j ओमेगा। Second step is the calculation of the magnitude of the Bode plot. So we already have an idea about the magnitude formula of the Bode plot, which is equals to 20 log and the transfer function in the corner frequency form. So the transfer function corner frequency form have a magnitude in which firstly we will see at the numerator and denominator. If we will see in the numerator, then in the numerator we have 50, मतलब हमारे पास numerator में जो 50 है हमें उसका magnitude निकालना है। और फॉर्मूला क्या है 20 log एंड g में सबसे पहले हम किस चीज को ले रहे हैं, न्यूमरेटर को, जो कि कांस्टेंट है। तो मैं क्या लूंगी 20 log 50, इसको निकालूंगी वैल्यू इसकी, तो मेरे पास आएगा 34। नेक्स्ट स्टेप में जाती हूँ डिनोमिनेटर में। अब जितने भी डिनोमिनेटर का मैग्नीट्यूड लेना है उनके साथ नेगेटिव यूज होगा, ठीक है। जैसे यहाँ पर सबसे पहले है j ओमेगा, तो j ओमेगा का मैं मैग्नीट्यूड लूंगी -20 log j ओमेगा। सो after taking the determinant of j omega I have -20 log omega। नेक्स्ट जो है मेरे पास j omega +1, ठीक है, ये फैक्टर है। तो इसका मैं मैग्नीट्यूड लूंगी तो मेरे पास होगा, डिनोमिनेटर है क्योंकि, तो नेगेटिव। मैग्नीट्यूड का क्या फॉर्मूला है 20 log 1 + j omega का मैग्नीट्यूड। मैग्नीट्यूड कैसे लूंगी 1 + ओमेगा स्क्वायर एंड अंडर रूट, सो -20 log √1 + ओमेगा स्क्वायर थर्ड फैक्टर का मैग्नीट्यूड होगा। देन लास्ट फैक्टर जो मेरे पास है वो है 0.5 j ओमेगा +1। इसका मैं अगर डिटर्मिनेंट लेती हूँ और मैग्नीट्यूड कैलकुलेट करती हूँ तो नेगेटिव में आएगा क्योंकि ये डिनोमिनेटर में है। देन क्या फॉर्मूला है -20 log एंड डिटर्मिनेंट ऑफ 1 + 0.5 j ओमेगा। देन आई विल टेक द स्क्वायर ऑफ basically 1 and 0.5 omega square, so the term will become like that -20 log √1 + 0.5 omega square. Third step is the calculation of the phase angle. So here we have the transfer function in corner frequency form. We will use the formula for calculating the phase angle, which is equals to tan inverse y divided by x. Y is basically the imaginary part and x is basically the real part. So of the complex number, as we have already studied about this in the previous sections, in our previous classes basically about this formula of complex numbers. So phi is equals to we will take the फेस एंगल ऑफ द न्यूमरेटर फर्स्ट। तो न्यूमरेटर में हमारे पास क्या है, 50 है, इसका हम लोगों ने फेस एंगल निकालना है। तो tan इनवर्स 0/50, क्योंकि इमेजिनरी कोई टर्म नहीं है, रियल है, तो इमेजिनरी 0 डिवाइडेड बाय रियल टर्म विच इज बेसिकली 50। Then I have basically the next value is in the denominator, so I will take the negative sign. Then I will write down tan inverse omega by 0, because in this j omega form there is no real part, so I will take omega divided by 0. Next term is j omega plus 1, so it is also in the denominator, so I will write down a minus, then tan inverse omega divided by 1. The last term is 0.5 j omega plus 1, so imaginary part 0.5 and the real part is 1. So minus, because I am talking about the term which is presented in the denominator of the transfer function, so I will write down the term like that, tan inverse 0.5 omega divided by 1. Fourth step is the calculation of different factors for the magnitude plot. So first factor is 20 log 50 which is equals to 34 dB. जब भी कांस्टेंट टर्म की बात होती है बोडे प्लॉट के मैग्नीट्यूड को ड्रॉ करने के लिए, तो उसकी कोई कॉर्नर फ्रीक्वेंसी नहीं होगी। सो कॉर्नर फ्रीक्वेंसी कोई नहीं होगी, तो मेरा ये वाली जो मैग्नीट्यूड प्लॉट के अंदर ये फैक्टर 0 से स्टार्ट होगा। देन स्लोप कोई नहीं है, क्योंकि ये मेरे पास कांस्टेंट टर्म है। कांस्टेंट टर्म के लिए बोडे प्लॉट में कोई स्लोप नहीं होती, तो 0 dB की स्लोप होगी, मीन स्ट्रेट लाइन। We will draw the straight line on y-axis and at W, which is basically the corner frequency, equals to 0. Then 34 dB की डायरेक्टली कांस्टेंट लाइन आप लोग ड्रॉ करेंगे ऑन y-axis पे इस फैक्टर के लिए। देन नेक्स्ट है 1/s फैक्टर which is equals to -20 log W. ये क्योंकि डिनोमिनेटर है, इट मीन्स ये सिंपल पोल है। सिंपल पोल के लिए हमेशा बोडे प्लॉट के अंदर -20 dB की स्लोप होगी, ठीक है। कॉर्नर फ्रीक्वेंसी यहाँ पर 0 है, क्योंकि यहाँ पे कोफिशिएंट ऑफ W नहीं है कोई भी, तो कॉर्नर फ्रीक्वेंसी नहीं होगी। आप लाइन ड्रॉ करेंगे, स्ट्रेट लाइन होगी, लेकिन उसकी स्लोप क्या होगी, -20 dB, क्योंकि यहाँ पे -20 log ओमेगा है, क्योंकि ये एक सिंपल पोल है। जब सिंपल पोल होगा तो -20 dB की स्लोप होगी, लेकिन यहाँ पर और फर्दर कोई फैक्टर्स नहीं है, तो स्ट्रेट लाइन की स्लोप होगी W = 1 तक जो बेसिकली जाएगी। उसके बाद नेक्स्ट फैक्टर है 1/s plus 1, तो विच इज इक्वल्स टू 20 log एंड अंडर 1 plus W square. Corner frequency can be determined by the coefficient of W. So coefficient of W यहाँ पे क्या है, 1 है, तो कॉर्नर फ्रीक्वेंसी मेरे पास क्या होगी, 1 होगी, सही है। ये बेसिकली सिंपल पोल है, क्योंकि ये मेरे डिनोमिनेटर में है। जब भी सिंपल पोल होता है तो बोडे प्लॉट का ये रूल है कि आप लोगों के पास 20 dB की स्लोप होगी। तो हम लोग एक स्ट्रेट लाइन ड्रॉ करेंगे बेसिकली जो -20 dB की होगी और जो बेसिकली पास करेगी ओमेगा इज इक्वल्स टू 1 से। देन वी हैव द लास्ट फैक्टर विच इज इक्वल्स टू 1 डिवाइडेड बाय 1 plus 0.5s which is equals to 20 log √1 plus 0.5 ओमेगा स्क्वायर। तो यहाँ पर जो कॉर्नर फ्रीक्वेंसी है वो मेरे पास टर्म क्या थी, 1 plus 0.5, जो मेरे पास डिनोमिनेटर में फैक्टर मौजूद था, तो मैंने क्या किया, 1 को 0.5 से डिवाइड कर दिया, विच इज इक्वल टू 2। तो मेरी कॉर्नर फ्रीक्वेंसी क्या है, 2 है। स्लोप क्योंकि ये सिंपल पोल है, तो मैं -20 dB बाय डिकेड की स्लोप ड्रॉ करूंगी, सही है। स्ट्रेट लाइन होगी, -20 dB पर डिकेड की स्लोप ड्रॉ होगी, पास कहाँ से होगी, 2 से। क्यों, क्योंकि मेरी कॉर्नर फ्रीक्वेंसी 2 है। For phase plot of the Bode diagram, we will take different values of W, and for that different values of corner frequency, we will achieve different values of phi. So in this plot, basically I will take 0, 0.1, 0.5, 1, 1.4, 1.52 and 4.45 for taking the value of phase plot. For the triangle of magnitude plot, we will consider basically the different terms. We have already studied about the terms in the table of the magnitude plot. So first term क्या थी वहाँ पे 34 dB की, तो हम लोग क्या करेंगे, 0 से स्टार्ट करके 34 dB की डायरेक्टली एक स्ट्रेट लाइन ड्रॉ कर देंगे, क्योंकि ये मेरे पास एक कांस्टेंट फैक्टर है। नेक्स्ट फैक्टर जो स्टार्ट होना है यहाँ पे वो भी 0 से स्टार्ट होना है, पर क्योंकि ये सिंपल पोल था तो मैंने -20 dB की स्लोप एक ड्रॉ कर दी है, एज यू कैन सी इन द स्लाइड। टिल W इज इक्वल टू 1। जब तक कॉर्नर फ्रीक्वेंसी 1 नहीं हो जाती मैं 20 dB की -20 dB की बेसिकली स्लोप एक ड्रॉ करूंगी फॉर द रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ माई फैक्टर 1/s। So in this section of magnitude plot, I will draw the Bode magnitude plot according to the third factor, which is equals to 1 divided by 1 plus s. So यहाँ पर जो मेरे पास कॉर्नर फ्रीक्वेंसी है वो 1 है, तो मेरा ये वाला सेक्शन जो है W इक्वल्स टू 1 से स्टार्ट होगा और स्लोप क्योंकि ये सिंपल पोल है तो -20 dB की स्लोप होगी। तो मैंने W इक्वल्स टू 1 से स्टार्ट करके मैं नेक्स्ट कंटिन्यू मैंने कर दिया है और स्लोप मेरे पास यहाँ पे कितनी की मैंने ड्रॉ की है -20 dB की। फोर्थ सेक्शन ऑफ द मैग्नीट्यूड प्लॉट इज 1 डिवाइडेड बाय 1 प्लस 0.5s। So I will take the first step of this section from W is equals to 2 because the corner frequency right there is equals to 2। तो मैं 2 से स्टार्ट करूंगी और स्लोप कितने की ड्रॉ करूंगी -20 dB की, क्योंकि ये मेरे पास सिंपल पोल है। तो -20 dB की स्लोप ड्रॉ करते हुए मैं W इक्वल्स टू 2 से स्टार्ट करूंगी ये सेक्शन और ये कंटिन्यू रहेगा। Fifth section of the magnitude plot is the overall magnitude plot, all the combination of different small factors of the magnitude plot। तो हम क्या करेंगे, हम दो फ्रीक्वेंसीज को माइंड में रखते हुए हम लोग एक प्लॉट ड्रॉ करेंगे। मैं स्टार्ट करूंगी W इज इक्वल टू 0 से एंड W इज इक्वल टू 1 तक जाऊंगी। अब W इज इक्वल टू 0 पे पहली बात गेन कितना है, दो गेन्स आ रहे थे मेरे पास, एक 20 आ रहा है और एक मेरे पास 34 बेसिकली आ रहा है। तो 34 प्लस 20 कितना होता है 54। तो मैं अपना सबसे पहली लाइन मैंने ड्रॉ कर दी, 54 से स्टार्ट लूंगी, मेरे पास गेन आ गया। अब नेक्स्ट थिंग ये है कि 0 से 1 कॉर्नर फ्रीक्वेंसी तक मेरे पास कितनी स्लोप्स आ रही हैं, दो स्लोप्स आ रही हैं। एक आ रही थी 0 dB की स्लोप और दूसरी आ रही थी -20 dB की स्लोप। तो 0 -20 dB कितनी स्लोप आ गई -20 dB। तो मैं 0 से 1 तक -20 dB की एक स्लोप ड्रॉ कर दूंगी। In this section, I will calculate the combined magnitude plot for corner frequency equals to 1 and equals to 2। तो 1 and 2 के दरम्यान बेसिकली मेरे पास दो स्लोप्स आ रही थी -20 की, तो टोटल समीशन बन के मेरे पास -40 dB की स्लोप बनेगी। तो वो मैंने ड्रॉ कर दी -40 dB की W इज इक्वल टू 1 से W इज इक्वल टू 2 तक, जहां तक मेरी ये दो कॉर्नर फ्रीक्वेंसीज अकर हो रही थी। इन दोनों के दरम्यान में मेरी कितनी स्लोप है -40 dB। In the last section of the magnitude plot, I will draw the magnitude plot for from basically W is equals to 2 till the frequency where the plot touches the 0 axis, means the 0 dB axis. So here we have the slope like -40 and the next slope is basically -20. So I will add up these two slopes, -40 plus -20 इक्वल्स टू -60 dB। तो यहाँ पे मेरे पास जो स्लोप आएगी वो -60 dB की स्लोप होगी। किन दो फ्रीक्वेंसीज के दरमियान होगी, W इज इक्वल्स टू 2 से W इज इक्वल्स टू 4.41 तक होगी, जहां पर मेरी पास मेरा बोडे प्लॉट जो है वो बेसिकली टच कर रहा है 0 dB एक्सिस को। For drawing of the phase plot, I will firstly mark the point where I have basically the phase angles. I have the phase angles at different values of W, like from at basically 0 and 0.1, 0.5, 1, 2 and 4.45. So I will mark all these points and mark the line between these points. So this is my phase plot in green color in the Samelog paper. In this slide, we will talk about the phase crossover frequency and gain margin. So firstly I will calculate the phase crossover frequency, then according to this phase crossover frequency I will calculate the gain margin। तो अगर मैं देखूं कि मेरी phase crossover frequency क्या होती है, phase crossover frequency is the frequency where phase shift is equals to -180। तो green phase plot के अंदर वो प्लॉट जहां पर -180 को टच कर रहा है वो फ्रीक्वेंसी मेरी क्या है, phase crossover frequency, as we have already depicted in my Samelog paper in black color। तो ये फ्रीक्वेंसी समथिंग 1.4 समथिंग है, जहां पर मेरे ये 180 प्लॉट को टच कर रही है। तो इस फ्रीक्वेंसी से मैंने जाना है अपने गेन प्लॉट की तरफ और देखना है कि मेरे गेन प्लॉट जो एक्चुअल आ रहा है मेरे पास उसमें और 0 dB से कितना डिफरेंस है। 0 dB और एक्चुअल गेन प्लॉट का डिस्टेंस जो है उस फ्रीक्वेंसी पर जहां मेरा फेज क्रॉसओवर अकर हो रहा है वो मेरा गेन मार्जिन होगा। In this slide, we will calculate the gain crossover frequency and the phase margin. So what is the phase margin and what is the phase crossover frequency? Firstly, we have to determine the gain crossover frequency in our Bode diagram. Then we will calculate the phase margin according to this gain crossover frequency. Gain crossover frequency is the frequency when log modulus is equals to 0. So if we look at the semi-log paper, the point where log modulus equals to 0 is the gain crossover frequency where जहां पर हमारे पास बोडे डायग्राम जो है वो टच करेगी 0 dB को। 0 dB को जैसे ही उसने टच किया बोडे मैग्नीट्यूड बोडे डायग्राम ने, तो वो पॉइंट क्या होगा, गेन क्रॉसओवर फ्रीक्वेंसी, एज वी हैव ऑलरेडी डिपिक्टेड इन द semi-log paper in black color. The point where the log modulus equals to 0. So as we have calculated the gain crossover frequency, इस पॉइंट से हमने अपने स्केल को या फिर अपने कर्सर को बेसिकली लेकर जाना है अपने फेज प्लॉट पर। फेज प्लॉट पे देखना है कि आपका जो रियल फेज प्लॉट है उसका -180 से कितना डिस्टेंस है। जितना आपका रियल बोडे फेज प्लॉट का डिस्टेंस होगा -180 से, उतना ही आप लोगों का फेज मार्जिन होगा। और चेक किस फ्रीक्वेंसी पर करना है, गेन क्रॉसओवर फ्रीक्वेंसी पर। गेन क्रॉसओवर फ्रीक्वेंसी मेरे पास क्या है, 4.4 समथिंग है। वो फ्रीक्वेंसी है जहां पर मेरा मैग्नीट्यूड प्लॉट का मॉडुलस जो है वो इक्वल्स टू 0 है। फर्स्टली आई विल कैलकुलेट द गेन क्रॉसओवर फ्रीक्वेंसी अकॉर्डिंग टू द लॉग मॉडुलस 0, जहां पर मेरा मैग्नीट्यूड प्लॉट का कर्सर जो है या पॉइंट जो है वो बेसिकली 0 dB को टच करेगा, वो गेन क्रॉसओवर फ्रीक्वेंसी है। उस पॉइंट से मैं जाते हुए फेज प्लॉट पे आऊंगी, फेज प्लॉट का देखूंगी कि मेरा एक्चुअल प्लॉट का -180 से कितना डिस्टेंस है, वो डिस्टेंस बेसिकली मेरा होगा फेज। नाउ इफ वी कमेंट अबाउट दी system response, then there are basically phase margin equals to -53 and gain margin equals to -27 dB. Means both the gain and phase margins are negative. So when phase margin and gain margin both are negative, then our system will be unstable. The main theme of this experiment is to remotely control the vehicle. So here I have the block diagram of this experiment. Firstly, we have to represent the controller and the system model in the form of transfer function, because here we have no real-time product, so we have to represent all these system in the model function, like in the transfer function form. So if I will draw the block diagram, firstly I will set the desired speed that I am going to basically the speed that is my requirement. So after this I will take the controller according to my specification, then I will provide some delay for controlling action, then I have the representation of the system. Output will be compared with the input of the desired speed. If there is a difference between these two, then the difference will pass to the controller. Controller will take action after some time of delay TD, and the signal will pass to the plant. So the next speed will be generated. In this controller section we have K. We will basically vary the K and stable or steady state error and the overshoots in the system. So we will vary the value of K and check the response of the vehicle, remotely controlled vehicle. Moving towards the software implementation of this experiment. As we know that LabVIEW software has two main windows, front panel and the block diagram. To create the functionality of any program, we have to move towards the block diagram of LabVIEW software. To continue any process in any programming language, normally loop has been used. In this experiment, we will use for loop. For loop executes subdiagram n times, where n is the value y to the count and terminal. The iteration I terminal provides the current loop iteration count, which ranges from 0 to n minus 1. You can find out this block by right clicking on the block diagram of LabVIEW software. Function palette will be open, then moving towards structure, then moving towards for loop. Pick the icon and place it on the window of LabVIEW software. As we know that LabVIEW software programming based on graphical programming. So the window which helps in this regard in LabVIEW software is MathScript. MathScript deploy your custom textual math code within LabVIEW applications. You can find out this block in the structure block of the function palette of the LabVIEW software. Another icon we will use in the block diagram of LabVIEW software is CD series. CD series connects two linear models in series. The system models either must be continuous time models or must have the same sampling time if they are discrete time models. Write data to the model 1 and model 2 input to determine the series connection between two models. You can find out this block by right clicking on the block diagram. Function palette will be open, then moving towards the control and simulation, then control design, and then model interconnection. Pick the icon and place it on the block diagram of LabVIEW software. Next icon we will use in this experiment is CD feedback. CD feedback connects two linear models in a feedback configuration. You can find out this block by right clicking on the block diagram of LabVIEW software. Function palette will be open, then moving towards control and simulation, then control design, then model interconnection. Find the block and place it on the block diagram of LabVIEW software. The main icon of this experiment is CD Bode. CD Bode icon produces the Bode magnitude and Bode phase plots of the system model on an XY graph. You can find out this block by right clicking on the block diagram of LabVIEW software. Function palette will be open, then moving towards the control and simulation, then control design, and then frequency response. Pick the icon and place it on the block diagram of LabVIEW software. CD time response parametric data basically used to calculate the parametric information of the transfer function of the system, such as rise time, peak time, settling time, steady state gain, overshoot, and peak value of the input model, basically based on the response time data. You can find out this block by moving towards the control and simulation, then control design, and then time response. Pick the icon and place it on the block diagram of LabVIEW software. As we know that LabVIEW software has two main windows, block diagram and the front panel. For the creation of the functionality of any program, we have to move towards the block diagram of LabVIEW software. To continue any process in any programming language, normally loop has been used. So I will use for loop in this experiment. Right click on the block diagram of LabVIEW software. So function palette will be open, then moving towards structures and then moving towards the for loop. Pick it and place it on the block diagram of LabVIEW software. Then n is basically the number, highest number I'm going to which I'm going to run my loop. I is the iteration. So I will use basically the control input for the n numbers. So right click on the n and pick create control. After this, I will basically use two systems right there. One is controller system and one is the plant, which I am going to control, means the vehicle. So to represent these two systems, we basically need the transfer function. And for the creation of transfer function of the system, I will use MathScript right there. So right click on the block diagram of LabVIEW software. Function palette will be open, then moving towards structures, then moving towards MathScript. So as we have already seen in the previous slide, For the controller transfer function, we have also k variable in this transfer function. So I will right click on the left side of the mask script and click on add input. So I will write down k right there and click on the input of k and pick create control and drag this input to the outside of the loop, because every such kind of input and output terminals will be connected to the outside of the loop. So k is the input, so I will connect it from the outside of the for loop. After this, I will write down basically the general equation of the transfer function. So numerator 1 equals to k multiply with the numerator value 1 and 2. So square bracket started, write down 1, 2, and use termination icon. Then write denominator 1 equals to square bracket, then 1 and 1. After this, numerator 2 then I will choose basically 1 right there, because in numerator for the second system we have only one value. So after this, use denominator 2 equals to square bracket started and 1, 2 and 4 square bracket close and termination icon. After this, I will write down the transfer function equation of these two numerator and denominator. So system 1 equals to transfer function numerator 1 denominator 1. After this, system 2 equals to transfer function numerator 2 and denominator 2. So here we have our two systems, system 1 and system 2. Means at the output we have two outputs, system 1 and system 2. So right click on the right side of mask script and use add output. Pick basically add output and then select system 1 and again right click on the mask script, right side of the mask script, click on add output, then click on system 2. So here we have two systems and we will combine these two systems basically using the icon of CD series. So right click on the block diagram, then moving towards the control and simulation, then control design, then model interconnection, and then we have CD series block. So place this icon on the block diagram of Library software and connect two systems with the inputs of basically two inputs of CD series icon. After this, as we have already seen that in the block diagram we have feedback loop. So for the representation of feedback loop, I will use CD feedback. So right click on the block diagram, function palette will be open, then moving towards control and simulation, then control design, then model interconnection, and then use CD feedback icon. Pick it and place it on the block diagram, then connect the output of CD series with the input of CD feedback. Then at the output, we have closed loop model of our proper system. So after this, I will basically use the icon of CD border diagram, which is basically the main theme of our experiment. Right click on the block diagram, function palette will be open, then control and simulation, then control design, then frequency response, and then we have CD border plot. Then I will connect the icon of closed loop model with the border plot input. Then connect one control input with the frequency range parameter of CD border plot, because I'm going to set right there the initial frequency, final frequency. So I will need basically this controlling input icon. So right click on this and moving towards create and then moving towards control. So after this, here we basically need shift resistor, because we are going to represent our outputs basically at the outside of the for loop. So for this, I will use the graph icon. Graph is basically used to represent the border magnitude. So right click on the uh, indicator side, means the right hand side of the CD border icon, and pick indicator, create indicator. So here we have the border magnitude output. So we have to connect this output at the outside of the for loop. For this, I will drag this output, or basically graph, to the outside of for loop and remove this extra items, and then I will connect this output with the for loop. Then I will connect right there, clean up wire icon or delete wire. Then I will replace this tunnel block with the shift the register block. Right click and then replace with shift register. Shift register is used to store data during looping, while loop and for loops. The shift registers let you access data and return the value from the previous iteration. So I will connect the output of shift register with the border magnitude. So here we have the proper representation of border magnitude graph. After this, for the analysis of overshoots in our system and for the analysis of step response, we will need the time response of this specific transfer function. As we have basically calculating the frequency response and time response simultaneously in this experiment, so I will need the CD parametric response data icon in this experiment also for the analysis of overshoots and peak time in our system. So right click on the block diagram and moving towards control and simulation, then control design, then time response, and then CD parametric time response data. Then connect this icon input with the transfer function model, because we are going to take the information of our transfer function model, means overshoot time and the steady state error and the peak time. So I will connect the input of this specific icon with the output model. Then right click on time response graph and click on create indicator. After this, I will connect the indicator at time response parametric data. So right click, create, and then indicator. So this is how we can make the block diagram of our border diagram based experiment. So here we have the representation of front panel of our border diagram based experiment. So I will write down the highest value of loop running as 10, and I will write down the K first value as 4.44. After this, I will increase the value of K and check the response of our system. How? By increasing the value of K, basically effect on the steady state error and the overshoots of the system. After this, I will write down the initial frequency S1, final frequency S10, and the minimum number of points as 20. Then here we have the Bode magnitude, time response graph, and the time response parametric data. So for the analysis of all these three outputs, we have to run our front panel. So click on the run button. So here we have the representation of Bode magnitude. Our plot basically starts from below 0, and after this it will increases and reaches like 2.5 something, or like 2 almost, and then it will decreases also. So here we have our step response based graph, means the time response graph data, and this data basically will be stable on 5 almost. And here we have the overshoot data, peak value of the graph, rise time, and peak time. So this is how we can analyze the result of our Bode diagram based experiment. In the next case, I will increase the value of K and check the response or Bode magnitude and the overshoots in the system. So I will write down the value of K equals to 10 and run my front panel. So we can analyze the time response graph and the Bode magnitude. Bode magnitude has the highest value at 6 something, and here we have the time response parametric data according to the value of K equals to 10. So in the third case, I will increase the value of K towards 20 and run my diagram. Here we have the time response graph, Bode magnitude, and time response parametric data. We can see that after increasing the value of K, we have decrement basically in the value of steady state error, and we will check the overshoots in the system, peak value, peak time, settling time. So this is how we can analyze the results of Bode diagram based experiment on the front panel of LabVIEW software. We can summarize the result of this experiment like that: if we increase the value of gain K, then steady state error will be decreased, but overshoots in the system will be increased. Finally, the conclusion is here. In this experiment, we have learned that Bode plot is an effective method for analyzing the stability of any method in frequency domain. Furthermore, we have also learned that Bode plot is a graph of magnitude in dB or phase of the transfer function versus frequency. Moreover, we also learned the efficiently controlling of the remotely controlled vehicle using Bode plot in LabVIEW software. Tasks assigned for this experiment are listed in this slide. You have to complete these tasks before the commencement of your next week lab. This is all from my side. You are welcome to ask any question related to this topic. Thank you very much for listening to me. Good luck. Allah Hafiz.